I thought this was just like a one-off, a strange fantasy of some girl. But then I hear from another girl. She said she was with her husband. I'm not going to tell you anything more than that, but she was on holiday with her husband, and she said there was this like overweight guy, like not bad looking, but not like a Chad or anything, or what do you call them, a Tyrone, or whatever you call them.
Yeah.
And he was rowing the boat, and he was black. They were in some sort of on some island, and she said she secretly fantasized about it. This was on her honeymoon to a guy, who's reasonably okay looking, and this overweight, I don't know, Samoan or whatever, black guy was rowing the boat, and she said she secretly had a fantasy about him. So this is what
it's over for married cells.
Easy theory confirmed, actually.
No, go ahead, Sid.
So what was the point I'm trying to make is that, when you're calling yourself, I'm black, I'm ugly, I'm this, there is a, well, I don't want to just say
oh no, that's terrible. What you're saying is, if you're black and incel, there are women who want to get raped. You're in luck.
No, what I want to say is that, I think if you can demonstrate like a certain level of assertiveness when you're with women, not like, oh, she's looking at me, like make it some sort of dismissive joke, like, hey, I know you think I'm sexy, but, wait till you see me in the bedroom. I don't know, just something kind of very cocky and sort of maybe overly confident, but you're sort of like self-aware, I guess, that maybe you're not conventionally handsome. I mean, women can turn around a situation very quickly, like just if her initial reaction is, okay, he's not my type, but you can overrun it. I'm not saying gravity doesn't exist, but, there are forces like jet propulsion where you can overcome that initial limiting factor. So that's something that I wanted to say before, because you told me I should mention that later on, and I shouldn't forget it. So think about that, next time when a woman is looking at you with maybe some sense of disgust, that, you can turn that around, but it's all up to you how you turn that around. Just owning it and, okay, accepting that you're not maybe her type, but women deep down, they still want to be fucked, and they don't really care that much, if he's not the best looking guy, but as long as you can really fuck them and take control and demonstrate that assertiveness in the bedroom, that can be extremely sexy for a woman. And
I will go to another Discord caller. By the way, if you're just joining us, I have Discord working, finally. We've looked at a girl who had a what did she have? She had a guy who was really weird. He said, let's go on I think they had one date, and then the next date he said he wants her to come round, and he actually specified, for want of a better word, that they should, or that he wanted to make out with her, which is the wrong thing to do to a woman. You do not lay out your plans to a woman. You have to seducing a woman involves it coming natural and unexpected, and letting her believe that it just happened. You don't want to tell a woman that you're doing something. At least I think the only circumstance in which you want to tell a woman that you're going to do something sexual is right before you do it. So if you say to a woman, I'm thinking of kissing you right now, then you can do it. But don't say by text, when you come around this Saturday, I'm going to want to fuck you. But if you don't want to fuck me, that's fine. But we might fuck, but we can fuck, but I don't want to fuck. But if I buy condoms now, if you tell me you want to fuck, don't do that. Don't be that guy.
You seem quite unnatural to me.
Yeah. I've done this. With my ex-girlfriend, fake celery, with my ex-girlfriend, I actually used a pickup technique on her. I said, I would kiss you, but your friend's watching. And she said, no, she's not. Boo! That was my cue. I just went, yep. And I was in there. Like that, and that was from PUA. That was from PUA. That was from pickup art.
Way to go, man.
Yeah. It hasn't worked since then because women have Tinder, and I locked out with that girl. Like, she was like a fluke. Like I fluked. That was that was like all like three planets aligning that I managed to get a girlfriend. But yeah, I will never forget that. That line.
See, the fact that you even talk like this, that's one of the main limiting factors in your life. The fact that you talk like this, that you think like this, that you actually apparently really believe this, is already, this can be displayed also through your behavior and just the way you interact with women. It's very unsexy. A woman doesn't obviously want to spend time or serious time with a guy who is so down on himself, who just always talks about how inadequate he is. I think that's just a bit of a shame. I think you have a lot of attractive qualities. I mean, you're funny, you're smart. As I said, I haven't unfortunately seen what you look like, but I don't believe you're as ugly as you claim you are. And but regardless of that, I mean, I've heard women. I mean, it's just so often that I hear women. Well, I didn't initially think he's good looking, or he was ugly.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of ugly. I mean, even the guy before my sister married the current guy that she's with, she was actually with a guy who you would call ugly. He really was. I mean, he wasn't ugly like, oh, he's not my type or anything. He really is. I did not understand what she saw there, but she was madly in love with him, and that was more because of his personality. He was very confident. He had a lot of friends. I think he was reasonably successful, but it wasn't like his money or anything. It was just, if you're always down on yourself and always saying, well, I'm this or that, why should a woman, be into you then if you're always...
Right. 2 points. How I behave when I'm talking to incels, when I'm on this stream, it's different to when I'm talking to a woman. Like, I'm not, when I approach a woman, I don't say, hi, do you want some company? Like, I'm actually more social. I'm in the mood. I'm in the vibe. I'm calibrating myself to the situation. So despite what people say in the chat and on the comments to my videos, I don't have Asperger's, although if I don't get where that comes from, but I don't have Asperger's. So
maybe I think it's the braces.
No, I've only had braces on for like a few months. Like, that's only been on for since late 2017. SB, do you want to make a point? Welcome to the show.
Right, thank you. Yeah, maybe that obviously body language is very important. So obviously you can't tell body language through text. So yeah, I mean, this guy, obviously it'd be better for him to actually be able to read her body language to see if she's receptive to this, and then from there, so like if she gives you a signal that says don't go ahead, then not to continue with that sort of thing.
All right, SB, while I've got you on, let me read the second or the follow-up to this update on first Tinder date thread. So she went on a date with this guy. She had a text from him saying we can kiss or not, or whatever it was. Okay, so this is the second part of her thread or her post. I was really speechless. I felt like that was the icing on top of all of the awkward texts I had been receiving, and just made me feel super awkward and cringy. Like if I had gone over like I was planning to, and we had actually got a flirty vibe going, and it felt right and natural in the moment, I would have been down to kiss him. But this felt like awkwardly trying to schedule a makeout when there had been no escalation at that point. At the time, I had no clue how to respond, so I just replied, laugh my ass off, see you Saturday. So let me just take a break in this. This is exactly what myself and Sid was saying. I think it was Sid. Women have this anti-slut defense, and they want to believe that sex and making out and intimacy just happened out of the blue. They don't want to. Of course, if you're a Chad, you could say, "Come around for some dicking." Like, yeah, but most of us aren't Chads, so we have to play the waiting game. We have to play the silent game. We have to play the unsuspecting, unassuming game.
Can I interject?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I interject?
Yeah.
A lot of women would get turned off by that, even if initially they found the guy really sexy and they would really like to fuck him. Just the fact that he's behaving in that manner, even if he's very good looking, can be a turn off for a lot of women.
Yeah, because what does it symbolize to a woman? Like, if a guy is that much forward through text, it's like, could he rape me? Could he overpower me? Because it's like women are. I fully understand and respect that dating for women is a question of not also is this the right man, but will I be in danger when I date him? So I could understand that, and I understand if a man gives off like rape signals or rape, whatever, red card, whatever you want to call it, red flag shows, then I can understand that causing a woman to feel insecure. I said that women have a anti-slut defense, and they don't want to be. They don't want you to telegraph and announce to them that you want to have sex with them. They want to believe it just happened out of the blue, so it doesn't. So they can feel in themselves that they're not a slut. Do you want to comment about that?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, definitely. And like, I mean, well, let's say they're writing it as well. They're not going to want it actually written there. So the guy, say, he can show his friends or something.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. But I mean, if I got that response where it was like, haha, see you Saturday or whatever, I would actually think that was a positive response. Like, she liked what was written, sort of thing.
Yeah. I think women need to be a bit more honest as well. The thing is, I've learned to read women's texts deeper than how they mean it to come across. Sorry, I have to spit out some food.
Sounds like autism.
Me? What do you mean? I sound autistic?
No, I was just joking.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No. When I've like, this is back in the day when I could actually get a woman's phone number, not like a date, a phone number. I'm talking, like, Tinder killed it for me. But when I was able to get a woman's phone number, and I'm guessing it was reluctant, but she just gave it, so I'd just fuck off and leave her alone. So I got a woman's phone number, and I was talking to her, and then I'll be like, so let's meet up this Friday. And she'll be like, I don't know what I'm doing this Friday. Or I'll say, okay, so that's fine. Saturday? It's kind of a busy weekend. So, and there was no suggestion of a alternative date. Women need to be more obvious. I know they have they're thinking of their own survival and protection and that kind of thing. But by text, what does it hurt you to say to a guy, actually, I've not really, even if I believe that when women give a phone number, they either know if they either know if they're going to meet up with this guy or not. Like, from then they know, or they have an idea that if they're going to meet this guy or not. So don't call me. You have to wait. So women could, I understand that women don't want to say face to face, I'm not attracted to you, I don't want to pursue this. But if you take a guy's phone number as a woman, what's the harm in saying through text, I've reconsidered and I think we're too different, or I don't want to meet you, or I don't think it will work. That's not even rejecting him because of your looks, just because of his looks. Don't lead him on and say, maybe next week, or don't lead him on and say, I'm busy this weekend. Just give it to us straight. Just do
It's
it.
deeply
Like you're not gonna get
hardwired.
hurt if you say it through text.
Well, I've had all sorts of reactions. I've had girls flat out tell me no, they're not interested. Just flat out, no, I'm sorry, not interested. I've had girls give me numbers and flake. I've had girls show a lot of interest afterwards. So I think there is a once again a whole range of reactions. I guess it also depends where you live.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm coming from mainly I did pick up in Switzerland, and Switzerland is known for being one of the toughest places to game anyway. And where here it's what I've heard is mostly related to status. They care almost. They put most of the emphasis on status, and not. I guess looks also come into it, but it's mostly like who are you? Who are your friends? Who are your friends? How can I benefit from spending time with you? Those sorts of things. But so I'm not sure where you've gamed. You've been gaming maybe in London or something.
Yeah.
And but here it's women can be very direct, and even if you ask them, well, yeah, I've had girls tell me I think you're very handsome. Like I didn't even ask them. They said I really like the way you look. But
that's when you
but
know
I'm still
you're
not-
good looking, and you are good.
but I'm
From your avatar, you look good looking.
Yeah.
So you're very masculine. You're like, if not a full on Chad, you're very. You're at the high level of Chad light, but I think you're high level Chad light.
I honestly don't consider myself a Chad. I would say I'm based on the reaction, like what people tell me. I'm probably a good looking guy, but I'm not. I don't consider myself a Chad. I do actually know, and I would actually like to talk about this at some point. I do actually know a guy who is a Chad, who definitely is.
Wait. Can you wait? Let Sid finish his point.
I know a Chad, and I met him through pickup, and this is a guy who regularly gets girls that I find I don't understand why he's going for them. These are like 5s or 6s. I would say he's probably a 9 or an 8.5 at least. And I would say he's good, better looking than me. Even though I've heard some girls say, "Oh, I don't think so," but I think he's better looking. He's definitely got a much better body than me. He just works out and everything, and he dresses really well. So this guy's an 8.5 or a 9 even, and he gets girls like almost every single girl he gets are 2 or 3 points below him in looks, and. I mean, I've got a theory as to why this is, but he's not like he's actually also, as I said, in pickup, so he's not like socially retarded or anything. But I was very surprised by the low-level quality women that he gets, like because I used to be in his you could call it like a player or a pickup kind of house, like a very nice house that he lives in, and there's just like all sorts of girls coming in and out there. But most of the girls that I see there, like who are good looking, are going for the other guy, and that guy, I would say, he's average looking at best. I mean, he's not conventionally a good looking guy in my opinion. But the girls that he gets, then they're like 6s, 5s, and 6s. I've seen maybe 1 or 2 7s, but that's it. And I was my opinion as to why this is I think his ego is so huge that he can't afford to have a dent in it by some 8 or 9 saying, no, I'm not interested. So I think maybe that's his problem. I don't know what it is. But the 6s and the 5s and 6s and the 7s are very kind of safe for him. And his ego, he can't maybe deal with the fact that a woman might be on his level. So he needs to be the best and the most popular guy in the room. I think that's what it is. But
yeah, I think it gives him a level of control. Like he knows he's safe.
Yeah.
He does. That's like a safe bet for him. Like why? If you can get a girl who's wow, I should cough. If you can get a girl who's reasonably attractive, she may not be on your looks level, but she's decent enough, and she would do way more for you than a girl who is on your looks level. So if you can get a girl who's 2 points below you, and she will make you breakfast in bed, and she'll suck your dick and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Then I would do that. But at my looks, if I were an 8 or whatever, I'd do that. At my looks level, 2 points below me is 0, so I can't do that. But if I were an 8, I would do that. Get a girl 2 points below me, and she would be more receptive, more grateful, more whatever than a girl on my looks level who I'd have to compete with for, like, I'd have to be much more. I'd have to step my quote unquote game up to keep her on side, keep her in my life. Like, yeah, why not live life on easy street?
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. If you're going for a girl who's objectively speaking at a higher, just purely on the looks level, on a higher playing field than you, then it's definitely sort of an uphill kind of struggle to always. Yeah. Well, I think in the superficial side it's an uphill struggle, but if you're an independently successful and I guess a confident man, or just like you know, a go-getter in life, generally independent of the female's attention, then you don't really have to do much. But I think a lot of men emotionally are very dependent on their relationships, and I think that's the problem. I think that's what eventually also kills marriages. And also, I mean, I had sex with a woman. Just last year, like, when was this? Like a few months ago. She's a bit older. Like, I guess I've been with MILFs as well. She's a MILF, and she's got 2 or 3 children. And
oh man.
But she was fucking sexy as hell, I tell you what. Anyway, she told me she broke up with her, was it husband? I think it was her husband, or just long-term boyfriend. And I'd said, well, what's the problem? I mean, and she just said, there's no problem. He's perfect. Everything about him is great. But I just didn't want to be there in the relationship anymore. And I said, well, what happened? What did he do wrong? And she said, oh, he did nothing. He's perfect. He's great. He does everything for me. And then I eventually thought about it and thought, well, that's maybe the problem, that he's a part of, like, a big part of his life is just dependent on how he's pleasing her, instead of him just living, you know, his purpose in life and her being along for the ride. I think that's interesting.
He could just be. I had a friend talk to some girl he met at like a spa or whatever after he got done, and same scenario, but she openly said like the guy just wasn't good looking. She wanted abs and a younger guy, and the guy was like 10 years older than her. Like this exact same story you're telling. And she said that's the reason she divorce raped him. She could be just fearing judgment from you because she finds you attractive, and that's the part she's leaving out. That she just didn't find the guy attractive. He was like too old, or balding, or fat, or whatever. Literally the exact same story you just told, but that part ended because
I don't know. I think she told. Yeah, I think she did tell me, because I was trying to figure this out in my mind. Like, she did tell me that she's attracted to him and he's good looking, or that she thinks he's really sexy. I said, did you lose your sexual attraction to him? And she said, no, he's really sexy. He's really sexy. She told me, and I don't know what he looks like. I haven't seen him, but that's what she said. And no, I just think that women. What I really want to say is I think women grow bored of repetitiveness. I think it's just predictable. Predictability can just kill anything. It doesn't really matter what you look like. If you're predictable, if a woman is going through the motions with you, oh yeah, he's getting me flowers again. Oh yeah, he's doing this again. You know, this predictability. And as I said, I don't think it's necessarily good. I think it's in fact a real shame that men try so hard and they still fail. But I think that's the problem. They're trying too hard, and I think this guy was just trying so hard, and that was eventually.
It goes to games like that need to be played, isn't it?
No, I agree with you. I agree.
So fucking dumb. The guy has to pretend like he cares less so he can keep her and not get divorce rate. They I assume they divorced or whatever. Like, and
just like this woman did not want to have sex with me initially. She was like saying. Like, she invited me to her place and we were having drinks, and she said, well, don't get any funny ideas. That's what she kept telling me. She said, don't think, we're not having sex. We're not having sex. She said this like the whole night. until I was in her bed. I was in her bed, and I was just, because it got late, I don't know, 2 o'clock in the morning. I was in her bed, and I thought to myself, look, I don't care. I'm going to fuck you anyway. That's what I thought in my head. But anyway, she kept saying, no, don't get any funny out of your sleep. We're going to sleep. I'm tired. And then she went to the bathroom, and she comes out like with this really sexy lingerie on, and she just gets into bed, right? And then, well, I don't need to get into the whole story, but you know, women say a lot of things, and you know, they
comes back to what we said.
Else.
It comes back to what we said. It's anti-slut defense, but you need to be able to read when the situation, the anti-slut defense is going to come in, or the last minute resistance. That I've had that before. Now that's going to come in when you're about to have sex with her. You're not going to have last minute resistance or anti-slut defense on a first date. That's just you're not good looking enough. Like the anti-slut defense and last minute resistance is what it is. It's going to happen when you're close to getting sex, when you're in a secluded area, a bedroom, her house, your apartment with her. It's not going to happen on a first date. That on a first date, when she's acting cold, that's rejection.
Well, this was a first date.
I'm just saying, referring to you're getting into bed with her, like that. Yeah. If you're getting into bed with her, it's pretty much on.
But I think it depends how eager you are. You see, I've had all these different situations. I've had situations where I've been to bed and no sex happened, and I tried everything, and that was the problem. I tried too hard, and this woman was half naked in bed. I mean, I could tell you what she was. She got oil out. I was naked in her bed. She was massaging me. She had a finger in my ass with the oil and all this shit, but we still didn't have sex. And I met her.
Wow, that I demand sex after that. Like,
and yeah, I know, I was extremely horny, and this was I met her like an hour ago. I picked her up from some shop, some like late night shop, you know, one of those restaurants, and this was on a Wednesday. It was just like everything else was shut, and this restaurant was open. And anyway, but she said to me, you know what your mistake is? I mean, we kissed and we made out, but we didn't have sex. And she said, you're too eager. You're too like.
Then again, the same behavior with a different woman may have worked. So there is some variation between women.
You know what I noticed? What was interesting? I said to her, "Okay, you know what? We're not going to have sex." And then as soon as I said, "Okay, we're not having sex. I'm not interested anyway." As soon as I said she just became a different person. She was like, "Oh, I don't know. Maybe in the morning I'll feel like having sex or something." It was just weird. Like this was still throughout my learning process, where I was still learning about all this stuff. I mean, I was like still quite relatively new in pickup, so I just noticed all these things. I mean, we had lunch later on, but and I think she was like, she told me I could fall in love with you and all these things, and we had, but we didn't have sex, and it was just because I was too horny, I was too eager, and that was a very valuable lesson, because I went home with the bluest balls ever, and I did give her my number, but she never contacted me because she thought, well, he's just gonna come here and fuck me and then leave, and which is probably.
Well, how good looking was she? Like, be honest. Was she below your looks level? Because I got a theory. Was she below your looks level?
I think she is.
Was
maybe
she old? Was she old?
She was a little bit. She was 41 or something.
And how old were you? How old were you?
How
old were you at the time? Okay.
Mid 30s.
I have a theory. I think that she thought you would pump and dump because you're better looking than her. You're younger than her. You're good looking. Yeah. But a woman,
but she's
decent
not
looking
like
40-year-old. That's like a decent looking toilet brush. It still brushes shit. Like a decent looking toilet brush still brushes shit.
She was. I wouldn't say she was above average looking, but not what you would call maybe a good looking. She was above average looking. Like I was attracted to her, but not. You know what I mean. I was attracted. She was attractive, but not. A bombshell or anything like that.
So okay, the guy said he sent a not creepy text, but he said He sent a text to this woman saying, we might make out, we might not. Okay, let me continue. The more I thought about it, the more I realized I was dreading this, and just not into this guy at all. And I shouldn't be just forcing myself to continue to go out with him for experience sake alone, or just to avoid hurting his feelings, since he seemed to really like me, female incel. So this morning I spent over an hour composing this text. So this woman got a text from a guy saying she went on a date with him. Then he sent her a text saying, we can make out when you come around my house or not. It's up to you. You know, the audacity of this guy. And so this is her text to him. Good morning. Hope all is well. I'm sorry, but I have to cancel on Saturday. Honestly, which is not honestly. Honestly, I thought I was okay to start dating again after my previous relationship ended, but I'm coming to realize that I'm just not ready yet. I hope you can understand. I had fun on the nights we went out. And you seem like a really good guy. Not good enough, obviously. I wish you the best of luck and hope you find what you're looking for. Total BS. So that is the text she sent him. Then she says, total BS, but it felt like the nicest way to reject someone without hurting their feelings. He responded, hey, thanks for letting me know. I'd be lying if I said this surprised me. I was waiting for some sort of connection, and I never quite felt it. But alas, I had a great time with you, and wish you all the best. And swiftly unmatched me on Tinder. I'm so glad I didn't go through with this just to avoid hurting someone's feelings. Now I'm back to square one, but we'll see what Tinder brings next. What would you all have done? Should I have gone and gotten my first kiss over with? Am I crazy, or was that text he sent super awkward? So what we have here, that was really interesting. What I gleaned from that is he was willing to go on the date with her, even though he didn't feel a connection. She didn't feel the connection, but she cancelled out. So this is female inceldom.
I think it's two things. Either he's just bullshitting and just trying to make it seem like he doesn't care, or the alternative is he really didn't.
That is a possibility. He may be just trying to save face. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And the alternative is, which is what I think more likely, is that he just really wanted to fuck her, and he probably didn't really care that much about who she is as a person. I don't know. I mean, just what he wrote, I experienced this very, quite recently, maybe a few months ago, with this girl I met from work. She's completely at a professional level, but she wanted to organize something, and I was organizing it for her, and then eventually I got her number, and we were going to meet, and everything was going well, but for some reason I just wanted to fuck her, and that's it. And so I wrote her, and I completely admit that I fucked up this one. This is what they call, I guess you could call a text game, which I'm sure you're suspicious of, but I can tell you, it really doesn't matter what you look like if your text game sucks. And I did something similar because I was probably like really horny when I wrote this, so I was a bit, I don't know, desperate or something, whatever. And I just wrote something like, she wanted to meet me at a restaurant and have some lunch. And I said, you know what, let's just skip that and go to your place, and I'll give you a back massage and we'll cook together and whatever. I said something along those lines. And, this is just, and she said, I don't know about that. And we were talking a little bit about some sexual topics. So there was a sexual interest there, but eventually I was becoming more and more eager, and I was saying things like, I don't know, to insisting on meeting her at her place, going to her place, or her coming to mine. And she wrote me the next day. She said, hey, you know what? She wrote me something very similar. She said it was actually the morning as well. She wrote me in the morning, like 9 o'clock in the morning, right when I was going to work. She said, I'm not sure about this. I feel a lot of pressure. I'm not sure about this, and don't take this the wrong way. Yeah, so this is a bit too much for me. I feel too much pressure, and eventually I actually got a bit irritated, and then I think I wrote something. I was once again, I was just with this particular girl, I was displaying low status behavior by just insisting that we meet, and then I was going back to the restaurant, which is probably even worse, because then I was going back on my initial.
Yeah. I don't agree with men who say that, or advice that comes from people who say women have a sixth sense and they can pick up on everything. Having said that, women's dating lives are more extensive than men's dating lives. Women who are below average looking still have a stronger dating life than men who are below average looking. So a woman who is below average looking has had more experience, can see more signs than a man who is below average looking. I went on a date with a woman who is absolutely hideous, but it was like the only Tinder match I had. Like I had like 2 Tinder matches, and one was this woman, and she was absolutely hideous. Like she could make a penis go up into the body. Like she was absolutely hideous. But I thought, well, I don't have many options, so let me try this. So I went on a date with this woman, and I must admit that I probably showed behaviorally that I wasn't attracted to her, and but I was surprised at how quickly she picked up on how unattracted I was. Like within about 15 minutes, she says, within about 15 minutes, she said something like, "This is terrible," or something like that, or not so blatant, but something like that. Because within the first few minutes, I saw her and I was a bit deflated. I don't know if I showed it outwardly, but I definitely felt it. And when the attractive waitresses walked by, I suppose I looked at them a bit longer than I should have, and I just didn't give enough eye contact to this woman because I didn't like her. And so I guess women, while I won't say that women have this sixth sense, they have had enough dates to pick up on behavior that indicates that the man isn't attracted to them, or that he just wants sex. So I'll say that much for women.
Sorry guys, I was just going to go to the toilet real quickly. Yeah. When you need me, alright.
Alright. That's his first contribution to the show, telling us he needs to go piss.
And also, I think that women oftentimes, they'll usually be with a load of their friends when they're talking to the guy. That's another thing you have to consider as well. Like, what do their friends think of this guy? Of the status and everything. They want to...
That is a point I wish I brought her, or less attractive guy, to have control over him. But women are so vain, and they've got they're watching the Kardashians, and they want to have a handbag and purse that matches their shoes, and they want to get the most likes on Facebook, and they want to have likes on Instagram. They want to have this. They believe they're celebrities, and they have this air of social status. They want to have social status. So why would they then want to bring down their social status with a guy who isn't good looking?
Yes, exactly. That is exactly my point.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about my own crazy conspiracy.
Okay.
But,
That's cool. All right, Sid, you go next.
Well, one of my so-called red pill moments in my life was, for me, the red pill is that, as I said, looks really aren't as central to women as that's for me the red pill, and for you it's the opposite. But anyway, what to me was that factor was, I was dating a girl who told me several times that she finds me attractive and all that stuff. And so I thought to myself, okay, well, this is going to be easy. And so we had a date, and then at the end of the evening, she even invited herself to my place. I didn't invite her. Now, this was a time when I was still, I was, I'm not going to say I was bad with women, but I was just, I was actually a virgin at the time, and I really didn't know what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing. So I just said, okay, you can come over. And she came over, and about 10 minutes later, she left. She wished me good night. In hindsight, I can tell you that it was obviously she felt like, okay, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. So, we didn't kiss or anything. So she probably thought, okay, this guy doesn't know what this means when a girl wants to come to his place. So because I was, so. Anyway, she left, and then I was a little bit, all of this stuff was new to me. I didn't know what this means, why she left. But anyway, a few months later, you know what I see? I see her on Facebook with a guy, obviously her boyfriend. This guy was ugly. This guy was bald. He was older. Like
Was he Indian?
No, he was white. No, he was white, but he had pimples. I remember he had pretty bad skin. Like, he had pimples on his face, and I'm thinking, what the fuck is going on here? Like, what the fuck? She could have had me. I would have been happy. She's an attractive woman. I would have been happy to go date her a few times, and she's just with this guy in her Facebook, social media, showing him off. So I'm going to have to disagree with that. And I've seen this often. Like, when I started dating out, I became a lot better with women later on. But when I started this, my blue pill was that, okay, I've got this handled. I'm good looking. I'm okay, and I should be doing really well with this girl. And it just didn't turn out this way. And this was over and over and over again. And then I occasionally got, what you call the fluke. I occasionally got the fluke sex here and there, but this was with women who are, 1 or 2 points below my looks level. And actually, this is an interesting story. I did end up losing my virginity to a model/actress. She was attractive. But this was, like, to me, a fluke. This was just...
it's ladder theory, bro. It's ladder theory. You climb the ladder.
What's that? What's ladder theory?
Yeah, ladder theory, man. Like, you go with a 2 out of 10 at first, then you go with a 5 out of 10. You end up with a 10 out of 10. It doesn't matter what you look like. It's just ladder theory.
Yeah, but to me, I've seen this over and over again where another girl that I met, I gave her my number, I was interested in her, and I see her boyfriend, and she actually has a baby with him. I saw her on Facebook. She has a baby with a guy who's just fucking, this guy looked like a big giant pimple or a wart or something, and I just didn't understand what was happening. That was, to me, just my world collapsed at that point, because I thought, I don't understand why, this behavior. I don't understand why she's not responding to my emails. She did give me her email address, and she's not responding. I messaged her on Facebook. She's not responding. And so, to me, this was a major point where I thought, okay, what's going on here? And, obviously I probably wasn't, that great socially, not that experienced maybe as that whoever she was dating. But to me, this was a big red herring where I just had to maybe reformulate my worldview.
Okay, S, do you want to make a final S on Discord? Do you want to make a final point?
Tales from the basement.
Yeah, my final point was
fairy tales.
Wait. Can you let S finish? S, go ahead.
Yeah, we can't hear each other.
Yeah, sorry. S, you talk. No one else should be talking.
Okay. The final point I wanted to make was earlier I did an absolute terrible job in saying my point. I did send you some links.
I haven't had time to check them out, but go ahead.
Of course, I wouldn't expect you to in the middle of a stream. I was just letting you know in the future. But yeah, if you check out the video, if anyone watching wants to know what I was trying to get across, just check out Kurama Mugtao, the alpha female. It should come up. and you'll get a better understanding.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it, really. I know you've not got a lot of time, so I'll just wrap that up quick.
Right. Thank you. Call again another time. Thank you, S.
Okay. Thank
Cool.
you again.
Right. You're out of here. Right. I think it was Godman. Godman, did you want to make a point? I'm gonna have to actually go through these really quickly. So Godman, can you make a quick point? Go ahead.
How long are you gonna keep me on for? Because I did want to have like a big conversation, but you're gonna like go off it, aren't you?
I'm gonna try and be out of here. I'm definitely gonna keep this on to under 4 hours.
In the morning, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm gonna
have
try
you got
and
work or something?
No. But I want to keep this under 4 hours.
Yeah. I can't really condense my point to like I don't know. I can't say it succinctly, so I don't know. I mean, obviously you know my situation by now, Invisible. Like I've been on the forum, the community for about 7 years or so, 6 years. Not really much has changed. I mean, obviously that's basically due to my doing. That's like my fault. Like I can't really place the blame or have anyone else culpable for like my situation or anything like that. But
so
it's just
what would you say is your fault? What would you say you've tried?
At the moment, like I've done nothing really. As I said, like it's just like a basic I guess like laziness. I'm guessing like it's just I kind of gave up on 2015.
So what do you expect to happen if
I know obviously nothing. I know nothing. I know obviously nothing, but I still do feel the bitterness. So I'm feeling that it's like a sort of it's probably an inevitable reaction because obviously a lot of people are reactive. They are reflexive when they go outside. They see other people like in relationships and all that sort of stuff. So it's a problem I've always had, sort of thing. Just being bitter, I guess. So I mean, I'm a bit nervous like talking live because I don't really do this that often. But I'll try to like get out concise points. So it's just what I've been doing like recently is just noticing like a lot of trends anyway. It's just especially with this incel hysteria. You know, after that thing in Canada in Toronto and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, we
have you noticed like there was a lot of there was an uptick about incel videos and all that sort of stuff, incel articles. And I'm just feeling
every day there's a new video about us. So.
But you see that it's a very cynical, calculated move to exploit new content in a way. It's like they found a new sort of boogeyman. Like society has found a new boogeyman, apart from like jihadists and
that's it exactly. We're just below jihadists blowing up Manchester.
I legitimately think in some regards that we are seen as even lesser than jihadists, because jihadists are the foreign threat. We are the domestic threat. We are the fifth pillar that undermines society in a sense. Yeah, and the thing is, we are like chastised, like castigated, along with like pedophiles, because we are not defensible, if you see what I mean. Every time people talk about us, they talk about us in a straw man. It's a sort of
generalized as well. It's so generalized. It's like
there's one point that
they'll take a point of one man saying all women should be raped slaves, and then they'll say this is what incels believe.
They'll regurgitate that repeatedly. But the real problem here is that a lot of the incels, as you say, have umbrage with their society, and it's an increasing problem. It's an increasing phenomenon that isn't simply going away. And they realize this because it's like we are just another aspect of the failing society, and it's not because of like bad morals or anything like that. It's because there's a confluence of problems in society, because like they're trying to desperately distract away from other more severe growing problems, structural problems, like with the economy, with trades and all that sort of stuff. With like, as you probably know or may not know, like I'm a bit of like a leftist, like a hard leftist and all that sort of stuff. I'm not like a right winger or anything like that. So I believe like I know you probably are, but I used to be. But it's a very reactionary, I don't know, hollow sort of belief system. So I just believe in a lot of stuff like caused by like imperialism, capitalism, and all that sort of stuff. So I'm talking about there's a lot of structural problems in the West that the society is trying to distract away from. So they prop up scapegoats like every couple of months or so. So it's benefit thieves, jihadists, it's incels. It's all people that they need to put in the gibbet. Like, do you know, like in the medieval times, they used to have a gibbet. And they used to place people in them.
Is that where your head is through one hole and your hands are through a different hole?
Yeah,
Okay.
Things like that. And it's like the village sort of catharsis. Like they need someone to sort of release their anger on. Like, because obviously there's a lot of repressed anger.
Men are just men in general are the boogeyman of today's society.
No, I wouldn't say men. Because there are
what? Me too.
There are classes of men. No. There are classes of men. That's the thing. Yeah, there are men that are doing much better than us socially. Yeah, and they aren't held to the same standards as we are because we are forever beholden. Yeah, exactly. But the Chads can. I'm not saying like the Chads can be ugly, but I'm saying the Chads are basically successful, powerful men that hold sway. Because I feel like looks also factor into power, in a sense. Looks is an aspect of power. Looks isn't just a thing in isolation. It's an aspect of power. So looks, money, status, they're all aspects of power, how much sway that you have. And women gravitate around that. So men that have a lot of power, I mean, obviously you've got freak examples like Weinstein, the Weinstein scandal. But I feel like these are calculated moves to bring down big like idols and all that sort of stuff. It doesn't happen often. That's why he was able to go around doing what he did for like so long, like 20 years or so, without anyone piping up. Those men normally do. But anyone that had less power, like us, like the common people, the normal people, we would be put in jail probably instantly. Even like, I don't know, daring to like, I don't know, brush past a woman or something, asking for the time. It's like they would just lock you up instantly because you do not have the power. So
I set up a Tinder profile a few months ago. I haven't visited it for a few months because it's a Chad Tinder profile, and it just takes too much work to screenshot, to talk to the women, to keep account of the conversations, to screenshot it, to make sure I'm documenting it enough for a future WAR video. It just takes too much work. So I stopped with the Tinder profile. The Chad Tinder profile, I just left it to one side. I was like, I can't deal with this anymore. Like I said in WAR 1.1, when I did the the Carl Tinder profile, Carl Poff profile, it was an administrative nightmare. This one was even worse. I have no idea what state I left this in. This is like a few months old. So okay, this is ULA. Okay,
there we go.
Okay, look at this. All right. This is ULA. I can't remember this conversation. This is months. It's February. I haven't used this Tinder profile since.
That just goes over my thoughts.
All right. You gorgeous, she says. I said, I bet that's your standard chat up line to anyone. She said, I used to use word cute, but you are gorgeous. I said, thanks. You're not bad yourself. Smiley face. She says, ha, thanks. Where are you from? I said, London. You? She says, from Beijing originally, studying Brighton Uni. Blah blah blah, whatever. Let's keep going. Marta. I didn't respond to this woman. Like, I couldn't keep up. I can't keep up with these conversations. There's too much. Chad has, like, it's just too much. Shall we do some swiping? Like, let's just look through this. Have a look through these. These are women that I couldn't be bothered or couldn't find the time. Wow, Becca looks nice. I'm into chubby chicks. Oh, she gave her phone number.
Invisible.
Yeah.
That's like giving a suggestion about how to end, like, quote unquote, end the incel problem without having to resort to like forced monogamy or anything like that.
I know how you end. I know how you end the incel problem.
Obviously, yeah, looks and all that sort of stuff.
You kill us all.
I'm surprised you only have 100.
That is the easiest way.
I didn't use Tinder consistently. Like I didn't use how many matches did they give you, or how many free swipes did they give you? Like, I don't know, 150, whatever. I didn't use them all. I just swiped a few times. I was really low commitment to this because I was working on WAR videos. I didn't have much time. I'm a busy guy. I work full time. I commute 2 hours a day. I go to the gym. I just didn't have time. So
it's the worst thing in the world.
Would you ever do you ever get curious about how many matches you truly have? Like, you know how Tinder Plus tells you who swipes on you before you swipe on them. So it says like you have like 180 likes or whatever, which probably means like if you had Tinder Plus, you actually have like 500 or 600 or 700 likes.
It could be.
I currently have 1,200 and something.
Wow.
But I have to. There is an asterisk there. I haven't been solely in Switzerland. I've been in different. Like I sometimes change to like today I'm somewhere in Holland. The next day I'll change somewhere to another country, and it's very interesting to see the quality of women or matches that you get depending on location. If you're in Ukraine or Russia, the matches that you'll get, these are, I'm not exaggerating here, almost all of them can be Victoria's Secret models. But if I'm in Switzerland and I'm swiping, or I've been in London before, swiped there, it's more like average to maybe a bit above average, like 7s or 6s, 7. But it's very rare you're going to get an 8.
Right, let me just interrupt. Aaron James said, "Show us the Chad." Right, let me just read Becca's conversation. Hi, I said, "Hi, Becca." She said, "Hi, hey, Richard. You are really gorgeous." Smiley face. How are you? Good day. So, this belief that women aren't into looks. When they're into, all I got from this was you're gorgeous, you're good looking. Why would women mention looks if they weren't important? All right, okay. So she sent a heart. I said, "Hi, I'm still alive. Just had a really busy week or two." This is I like the last message she sent was 28th of January. The next message I sent was the 1st of February. I couldn't keep up. I have a busy life, and I like the Tinder profile thing experiment was like I couldn't keep up with the responses and screenshotting everything, and like I just couldn't do it. She said,
"You got to experience life as a woman. Actually,
exactly. This is what women. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised."
Can I ask?
Yeah.
Invisible, can I ask? Why do you keep on about this point about looks? Yeah, we've discussed this for about 6 years, 7 years.
But there are certain people that don't get it.
We've consolidated all the evidence and all that sort of stuff. We know
certain people that don't get it. Certain people, you don't realize how many comments I get.
There's no point in addressing their arguments because women tacitly understand where we're coming from as well. They understand. They fully know that we're right. Everyone knows implicitly that we're right. We're not trying to convince anyone.
Well, also, I'm not trying to say that looks are important. I'm just trying to illustrate just how important looks are. Like the effects, yeah. So I'm trying to illustrate just how different a good-looking guy's life is to an average-looking guy's life.
You shouldn't relegate it just to dating alone. You should expand it into jobs, all of that sort of stuff, into friendships even, because you notice that some friend groups are even looks matched in some instances.
Yeah.
Obviously, you get a Chad of the group, but I'm just saying, you've noticed obviously, like with some friend groups, they all gravitate around the same certain looks level because it's like a safety sort of thing, isn't it? It's like a sort of
Yeah, definitely. I would say that
to feel secure in themselves. Yep. They don't want one person ruining the dynamics of the group.
Exactly. Why would you want, if you're a bunch of Chads or Chad lights, why would you want an ugly subhuman gene cell?
Unless it's like a supplier or something.
Unless it's what? What's the what?
Like a supplier, like a drug
supplier.
Yeah. Anything like that.
But
he can get you into places.
They've always got to use him in some way.
That's the thing. Definitely. As I said, harkening back to my point earlier, it's about, as I said, value and power. What can you bring for other people? And looks are the most obvious indicator of that value. It's like when you look at someone that's good looking, obviously, it's like they can bring me status. Yeah. By proxy, because if I'm hanging around with a good-looking person, or if I'm going out with a good-looking person, that means I'm valuable enough to get their attention. Yeah, see what I mean? Definitely. It's like just value and power. It's all kind of related. They compound each other.